Hi guys, welcome back to Boys and Ghouls Film Review. I'm your host, Sarah Stephenson, and this is my co-host, Mike Stephenson.
Hi all.
And tonight we will be reviewing a fan film, another one, just so you know, called Indiana Jones and the Spear of Destiny, that was made in the year 2010.
Now this is an action adventure. Like I said, we do, apart from horror and sci-fi and fantasy, the odd interesting thing. And this falls in the category of interesting.
And this is a bit of fan-based.
It is fan-based, but it shows one person, to me, it shows that one person can make a difference, but I'll talk about it later. The man who put this together is a dynamo, and he's very talented. But we'll talk about him in a minute.
In a good way.
Yeah, in a very, very, very good way, yeah. But anyway, do you want to introduce part of this, or do you want me to go through the cast? What do you want to do?
So the director and writer for this is an acquaintance of mine, just so you guys know. And I'm doing this out because he's been a godsend to me. He's been really great to me, too. Not in a good way.
Yeah, very good way.
So he directed and written and starred in it, I might say. And his name is Marcel Cornelius.
Actually, can I just go through and give a rundown of every part he touched on?
Yes, why not?
So people here say, oh yeah, do one or two things. And some people say, oh, you can't do everything.
Yeah.
And I say, listen to this, what this guy did, and we got a good product at the end of it. Okay, the things that Marcel was involved in during this production. He wrote it. He directed it. He was one of the producers. He did the post-editing, production design, whatever that is. Costume design, he was in that as well.
Special effects.
Wait a minute, I'm going over special effects. Effects engineering, miniature effects, stop motion effects, effects cameraman, model maker, matte paintings. He did his own stunts. He's a still photographer for it. And he's one of the makeup artists. He also did the casting. Who said you cannot put yourself out there and do it all?
Well,
yeah, some people say you can't do it all.
Well,
he did.
we did review last time.
Yeah.
Let me see, what was it? Oh yeah, the Love Witch, and she told me when I was interviewing her for
That's Annabella, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, Annabella.
She actually said she looked after the head department of each bit of her film project. So it's okay to be head of each one.
There's a difference between being the head and telling people what you want to do, but he actually looks like he was actually doing it all as well.
I know, but
not just being in charge of them.
I just meant that it's always good to keep a close eye on all the production, just so that in case it doesn't look like something you want it to look like.
But this going to show that someone with an idea and a dream, whatever, and the right amount of money behind them, can actually make a country. But he worked hard at this, and it's a good product. Even though it's in German and subtitles, I don't like watching foreign films and subtitles unless they're good. And I have watched this several times, and I find this to be a very good product.
Yeah, and we were watching another subtitle movie. Just before we watched this one, where the subtitles for that one went really too fast.
And they dropped some out, and you couldn't really follow the subtitles probably. This here works good. The production is very, very first rate.
Quite.
Yep.
Yeah. So anyway, who else stars in this film? If we can just
I've
talk
limited
about
down to a couple of main players. I didn't want to go through everybody like the guy who did the window washing and walking dog in the background. But okay, geez, surprise, surprise. Indiana Jones was played by Marcel Cornelius. Now there's an attractive lady by the name of Andrea Max. She played Agent Sophia Hapgood.
Yeah, she was in one of the Indiana Jones comics, as I recall.
Was she? Okay.
Yeah, well, this is sort of taken
they
from...
borrowed loosely from the Indiana Jones.
It takes from a lot of comics and graphic novels, I've noticed.
Whatever. Okay, I'm rolling on. Now, our... What's the word? What's the evil guy? The protagonist, is that a word? Whatever. No, there's a word for it. The head mean guy, was played by Gottfried Fettrich, I think is the right, or Petrich or Fettrich. It's got PF at the beginning, I'm not quite sure.
Sorry about this, guys, if we're not
really
up to
good
standard
at the German
with
names.
German
Sorry,
names.
there, Gottfried. He plays General Heinrich von Liechtenstein. And I kept saying, is he related to Frankenstein? And I've been told he's not.
It's
What? What?
this is
I'm joking. I'm being putting some levity into things.
yeah.
Okay,
He's all
now,
about the levity.
I'm levitating all over the place. And now Peter Mittig, he plays, believe it or not, Special Agent P.S. Mittig. And now Mittig is Miethig. I think that's the right pronunciation. But yeah, he's using his own name. Does that mean he's really a special agent?
No.
Oh, okay, fine.
I mean, most of the time when you look at fan-based movies, if it's a co-star character you're playing, you're okay to use your own real name if you wanted
certainly
to.
did.
So in this case,
certainly
he's off
did.
the hook in this.
Okay. What hook? He's gone fishing, has he? No. Anyway, that's it for me with the cast and crew and stuff. I'm going to pass you over to young Sarah here, and she's going to tell you a tale of terror, action and whatever,
Adventure,
whatever,
and
not terror,
fantasy
but,
too.
And fantasy. Actually, it does. And actually, there is a fine line between fiction and fantasy, and I think these Indiana Jones type things, there's got to be a touch of fantasy in them. Because it's a totally fictional story.
Yeah, well, it deals with unbelievable stuff like ghosts coming out of artifacts, scaring the daylights out of you. And while it may not be horrific, it's still got a lot of fantasy stuff thrown in.
I think it's sort of borderline. Every time you got something that's fictional, it's got to be borderline as far as a fictional just life, or borderline fictional. Not life, because this is like an alternate reality source of the Spirit of Destiny, and we've got Shangri-La's mentioned there, and other good groovy things. So yeah, I think it's bordering on fantasy. So that's my take on it.
Yes.
Now I'm going to take it away, Sarah.
So okay, I'll open up our story here.
I'll just open it for you.
Yes. So Indy arrives at Tibet. And he goes off to find the secret city of Shangri-La. Yeah, and
Let's make a movie about that.
yeah, he comes to the ancient door that leads to Shangri-La, and an old man comes out of thin air or whatever.
He got a bit of a cough. I don't know if the
Or a frog in
coronavirus
his
or
mouth.
anything. I don't know if it's coronavirus or anything, but he got a cough. He should be social distancing.
Yes, so
Anyway.
he tells Indy that that only a wise person could look after this this Shangri-La, all that stuff.
And there's a prophecy. Someone was going to come and take over. That does remand me of the Last Crusade, doesn't it?
A little, which never came into the story, obviously.
Yeah,
So anyway, Indy has to answer one question: what is the meaning of life?
Well, it's not quite that, but there was something there. There was, but he mentioned only. He mentioned something. He got a riddle. If he answered the riddle, he would be the right guy to take over. But also, did he mention there had to be a righteous man as well, a bit like in the movie?
Yeah, a righteous man or whatever.
The right guy had to be that had the right stuff.
So anyway, Indy answers the question correctly, supposedly. I often think that whoever answers the meaning of life question, I don't think there is a direct answer for it. Obviously,
the meaning of life: to be born, go to work, and die, leaving a good-looking corpse. There you go.
That'd be rude.
What? No.
So anyway, he finally gets this small figurine that's a red figurine.
Oh yeah, you got that from
From the old man.
the old man.
Not to mention, I should mention that Indy is not alone. He's accompanied by his guide, who turns out to be a German spy.
Gee.
Name what's his name? Alex
I can't remember.
Let me think. I'm trying to.
Siegfried Roy. I don't know. Whatever. He had a German name. It could be Alex. He had a twin brother in this as well. Surprisingly, that saves costs, doesn't it, on actors?
Oh, maybe not Alex. Sorry, I forgot.
Well,
Sorry,
whatever.
guys. I'm bad with names.
Doesn't matter.
Anyway.
He's not important. He died pretty quick. So yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, he threatens Indy with his gun and says, "Hand over the statuette, or you're dead."
Yeah.
Well,
Gee,
not in those words.
Decisions. Do
Yes.
I die or do I die? So he fought.
Yes, they fought, and then soon enough, dear old
Siegfried or
Siegfried
Fritz, or whatever his name, went flying
oh
out.
yeah, Fritz. Sorry.
Fritz, that's what
yes,
he was.
Sorry.
And it was his brother was Siegfried or something, or something. Siegfried and Roy. No, they're the magicians, aren't they?
Yeah. So anyway, he falls down a cliff, and this is the awesomest special effects shot I ever seen, where he hits the ground, splat,
and the blood pours out. That's not bad, and look really good too. Actually, some of these shows, they're pretty lame with that sort of effect. This come over pretty realistic. I thought, ew. Ew.
Yes, soon enough, Indy sees
that'll leave a stain.
a hidden German base somewhere
nearby.
Nearby.
Gee, so the German base is nearby to Strangleheart, and they didn't know it was there. Gee.
Yeah. Anyway, Indy investigates, and he heads inside the actual base itself. I don't know how, but it was really funny.
Well,
Cool.
just why not? It's an Indiana Jones movie.
Yeah, no questions asked. So anyway, Indy heads in there, and then he meets Fritz's twin brother.
I think it's Siegfried. Well, I can't remember. Whatever. It's another German guy.
Yes.
That sounds short settler.
Yeah. Anyway, he is angry that Indy killed his own brother, and they had a shootout, and of course he gets impaled on a sword.
His own sword, mind you. You little klutz,
And this is where we meet the head bad guy, the villain of the piece, General
von Liechtenstein. Frankenstein. I like Frankenstein better.
And he, of course, says to Indy, hand over the little figurine or you're a dead duck. Well, not those words, but you get my
Pretty
gist.
much. You're going to be dead. You got a choice. You hand it over to me and I kill you, or I kill you and take it. You got two choices.
Yeah.
Not very good choices.
Yeah, so Indy takes it out of his bag, the special satchel bag he has off him.
Yeah, the old satchel over his shoulder.
And he puts puts the figurine in his pocket, and then he lets loose a little grenade thingy.
He pulls the
and
pin.
He then takes his bag and pushes it across the floor with his foot. And just then, as Liechtenstein opens the bag, he sees the grenade, the pin's out, and boom!
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, people out there. Now, there must be some military guys out there who play with hand grenades. Now, I'm sure if you're handling a hand grenade about 1 foot from your body, and it went boom, it wouldn't just blow your hand off. It would send shrapnel through your body, and you'd be
Well, actually, I think there was a few shrapnel pieces in his eye.
You'd be dead.
I like to think, anyway.
However,
Mike,
Marcel,
bear in mind, this is a fantasy. And if
it is fantasy, isn't it?
And we cannot eliminate the fact he may have survived.
He might have had a Kevlar vest on, and it didn't get through his vest. There you go.
Yeah, might likely. Yeah. So anyway, Indy grabs his shawl bag and he heads off down the Tibetan hills until he realizes he's in a minefield.
As one would.
And of course, Liechtenstein's still alive. He flips the switch on the minefield
and starts setting off all these explosions, which makes Indy have to run for his life.
Yes.
Oh dear.
Eventually, Indy gets to a bit of a water spring, and he floats out, and he and the figurine are safely,
on the way home.
On the way home. And eventually he arrives back at Boston.
Boston?
Yeah, Boston. Yeah. And he's back teaching his students at the university.
And as usual, there's a good-looking blonde babe there with a low-cut blouse on there, fluttering her eyebrows at him in the eyebrows. Eyelids.
Yeah.
That thing. Those two. Yeah.
Yeah. So Indy then meets up with his friend Alex.
That was Alex.
Yeah,
that was Alex. Yeah, his friend was Alex. Yeah.
And they talk about how old times, stuff like that.
And new times.
And eventually he gets summoned by these American army guys who ask him to go on a mission for them.
Was that Special Agent Mittig?
Yeah.
Who used his own name.
Yeah, and he introduces Indy to an old flame of his.
Sophia Hapgood.
Yeah, and they're at least happy to see each other, but that changes eventually as the story goes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He wasn't happy to see her. I mean, I think the story goes they were on a job together, and he left her in the jungle or something or other
Yeah,
to die.
with snakes and stuff.
And stuff, and well, yeah, I can see that would get up your nose. Yep.
Yeah, so anyway, Indy's mission is to recover the Spear of Destiny. And this is the spear that's, if you've heard the story about Jesus being crucified, which you have, that
so?
after Jesus died...
Well, when he was on the cross to make sure he was dead,
Yeah.
one of the Roman soldiers was asked to pierce his side with his spear.
And
they stuck it in there. That's when they said the water and blood came out. What actually is, that actually means, in reality, the water and blood, it wasn't water and blood. What is, when someone dies, the plasma the plasma and everything in the blood starts to separate. So the red stuff, which is hemoglobin, and the white plasma stuff separates. So really, no, if the Bible is accurate, they're saying what they actually saw was he was dead. The water and blood is actually the plasma separating from the hemoglobin. So interesting point, isn't it?
Yeah, the point is
Anyway,
that this spear that was pushed into Jesus' side and everything becomes mystical, and if anyone so much as has it, will become invincible.
It's got the power of God in it, and that sort of stuff.
And it's up to Indy and Miss Hapgood to try to get this artifact.
Because the Nazis, well-meaning little devils they were after all these little treasures and stuff and occult thingies during the war.
Need you ask.
Yada, yada, yada. And this is another occult trinket they were going to use. And Hitler wasn't going to see this one, was he?
Oh, no.
I think Liechtenstein was going to keep it for himself.
Most likely. So anyway, of course, they mentioned his agent says to him there is also his other Liechtenstein's agent called Iceman, who is a very dangerous assassin.
Yes, assassin.
Who uses special ice to kill you or something.
No, I'll explain it. What he has a machine gun, a small one, and the magazine has got frozen ice pellets in it. Now, whether they're ice or they're dry ice, whatever, it doesn't matter. But the pellets come out, hit you like a bullet, but they dissolve, so there's no trace of what actually killed you. There's a hole in you, but they can't see. Yeah. There's no trace of a bullet, you see. What a good idea. But added to that, I think what happens is they can freeze you a tad too, these little bullets, if you get...
if you come any close to it, like if so much as it goes near any fleshy creature or person, they freeze up.
They could do.
And I guess they die of hypothermia.
Hypothermia? Oh, whatever. One of those cold things. Yeah.
Yes, so anyway, of course, Indy doesn't buy this, and he doesn't really want to do this. And he says that Sophia, guten Tag, agent, guten Tag, meaning goodbye.
Toodles, bye. See you around like a resole.
Yes. So that's one bit of German I know about. So eventually, the agent tells Sophie to go follow him and try to see reason.
And he doesn't, obviously.
No, eventually, some files that Sophie had was snatched by another agent of General
Frankenstein. Liechtenstein, yeah.
And of course, Andy does a chase scene with him. We get a small fight scene with guns and fists and stuff.
And actually, our little friend Marcel was supposed to be doing his own stunts. He wasn't. He was doing his own stunts. He did pretty good in that.
Yeah. Anyway, eventually, Sophie gets in on the action by stealing someone's motorcycle.
Yeah. And not bad. Why don't she do her own stunts as well?
Yeah, most likely. So anyway, at least she drove a motorcycle, which is good.
Well, not everybody can.
No, that's true.
It did have a sidecar, so it was reasonably stable.
Yes. So anyway, she picks Indy up, and they drive off, and they run across the Iceman, who is about to try to steal the files again from Sophie. I guess those were very important files about the investigation and stuff like that.
Well, yeah, what they knew, where it was located, other good groovy things.
Yes.
It's like Mission Impossible as a brief. Read this.
Yeah.
If you choose to take this, if not,
unfortunately,
burn it.
Liechtenstein has another ace up his sleeve. His oracle, who predicts where Indy is and his Sophie are going.
She was creepy. She almost made the horror move, didn't she? She was a creepy piece.
Yes, very creepy. So anyway, eventually Indy packs up his gear, and I guess he and Sophie head off to Egypt. which is where
Hey,
the
we've been there.
spear is
We had a
located.
nice holiday in Egypt years ago, didn't we?
Yes.
And went to Israel and Jordan. We saw Petra and all. And actually, Petra was in this, wasn't it?
True.
That
Isn't it-
wasn't Egypt then, was it?
Yes.
They lied.
So anyway, Indy and her arrive at Egypt. They take a truck, and it runs out of fuel, and they have to walk like say so many miles through the desert. Which, without water or without food.
So you start seeing rides. There's a McDonald's over there, and there's a Pizza Hut, and there's a Burger King. No? Wrong. And some water as well, sorry.
Yes. Anyway, they
The
eventually
Starbucks.
retire for the night, and Sophie begins to have second thoughts about this mission, feeling like they're heading into dangerous waters.
Gee. She read the script, did she? No.
Of course, Indy's not too threatened by this, and
He's been there, done that. Yeah.
yes, and eventually he nods off while she's talking about her life with her.
That'd put you to sleep.
Yes. And eventually, without noticing it, Sophie gets kidnapped. And next
She
morning.
wasn't a kid, she's a woman. She got woman napped.
Okay. So anyway, Indy wakes alone and doesn't realize where Sophie is.
She's left me again.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
typical
eventually
female.
he
Right,
goes
right,
off
yeah.
on his own. He soon comes exhausted, probably thirsty and drained of whatever energy he has left. And soon enough, he sees in the cliffs something emerging from it, and we see the Petra.
Well, it's supposed to be somewhere other place, yeah, but excuse me.
Well,
only the right person can see it. You know,
Yes.
a person of pure heart or something. Was it again?
Yes,
Yeah,
I do
another
remember
one.
in
Another
a
one.
Thief of Baghdad in that movie where the princes in that were forced to try to find the special blue rose, and those who
That's true,
who
yeah.
can't find the entrance will find it when they least expect it.
Yeah, and if you're looking for it, I think in the Aladdin thingy, it was like if you had a pure heart, or you're looking for it for unselfish reasons or something rather, you would see it. But if you just had greed and stuff, you wouldn't be able to see it.
Exactly.
Something
so.
like that.
So anyway, Indy sees where the Spear of Destiny is located, and he walks in, and he finds it, and just like he did with the idol, he picks it up, and the place falls to bits.
Yes.
of course
Been there, done that. Yeah.
Yes, Indy rushes out of there, and just as he's trying to calm his heart down, we see a tank coming over the next desert doom.
Yeah, they've been following you. Hey, not bad.
Yes,
Hey.
and eventually Indy finds a box of guns, which I can't really explain that.
I was just handy. It was left over. Army surplus.
Yes, and eventually he pulls out a rifle and bang, 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 but it doesn't so much as make a mark in the tank.
Well, it was a tank, you know.
And soon enough, he sees a box labeled bazooka.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah.
And he pulls it out and he says, quote, "You're fired." And
And-
bam!
Yeah, I don't know how a bazooka would have that effect on tank, but it was good for the movie.
Yeah, and so it bangs right into the bazooka, setting off a very big shock.
And flipped the tank over on its back, and we got a
flipping-
cockroach, didn't
and
it?
nearly flipping over Indy on his back, or
Well,
whatever.
it's got a bit of kick, those things. You actually, that's why they kneel down on the ground and do it, so you can brace yourself. You don't just do
Yeah.
it standing up.
Yeah, true. And eventually, behind Indy, we see Liechtenstein, and he's there saying, "Give me the spear, or I'll kill Sophie." And of
Good
course,
trade-off.
and Liechtenstein
no,
has
no.
the upper hand, meaning,
Oh, you only got one hand.
yeah, true,
Yeah.
true.
You only got blowed off.
Actually, he gets sort of
A metal hand.
a prosthetic hand, if that's the word.
Oh, yeah, metal hand.
Yes, and he says,
Hey,
sometimes you lose, sometimes you win, all that stuff.
Yeah.
And eventually, Indy gives up and hands in his bazooka.
ain't love grand, folks.
And eventually, they arrive at the I think the same place they were last time when they did the Lost Ark. I'm not sure, but they arrived there anyway on the submarine. And Liechtenstein is preparing to open the box to get out the Spear of Destiny and start playing around with it.
Why such a big box for such a small little thing like that, which is only
Yes.
about the size of it, about 8 inches long, and about an inch wide. You know,
Yes.
hello.
Of course, all the time
He
he's
could have in your pocket. Yeah.
taking out the spear of destiny. A man is taking footage of it, filming it, and soon enough, he takes it out and starts chanting some magic words.
Well, he wasn't. He's doing he's saying some Latin words about.
Or chanting or Latin
Well,
words.
you're saying some sort of a spell in Latin because he mentioned Domine, which is something of God and stuff.
Yeah.
And,
So anyway,
Yeah.
somehow something happens. Like a lot of weird electricity starts shooting out of the
that
spear.
reminiscent of Lost Ark.
Yes, and we see ghosts hovering for immediately a
And
few seconds.
these weren't good-looking ones.
Yes.
No, they were already horrible.
Yes. Anyway, so he then points this. Liechtenstein points the spear at one of his men, which kind of
Fried him.
And then
Hey, Siegfried. Siegfried? No. Sorry.
Mike, you're losing it.
I can't help it.
So anyway, Liechtenstein then points the spear at Indy, and it burns and damages some of his clothing
Well,
a little bit.
he grazed his shoulder
Yes.
or something. Yeah.
Eventually, the spear continues to cause a bit of disruption in either France and India.
Yeah, a few place capital cities. He raised off his hand and was saying whatever. We don't speak German. And he said a few things, and it was going there and zapping things here and there around the world. And all of a sudden, what happened, my darling?
Well, he then Indy is soon gets off of the ground after being scathed, and Liechtenstein's about to zap him for the final time, putting an end to Indy completely.
Oh, no sequel?
No.
Oh.
But eventually, Indy, being the smart one, tries to grab the spear and points it directly at Liechtenstein, zapping him in the chest. And this then goes out to strike everyone who's so much as who is
Everybody who was with him,
yes,
naughty guys,
the naughty guys,
got zappoed.
killing all of them, except for Sophie and
See,
Indy.
she wasn't one of the naughty guys.
Yeah, Indy and Sophie embrace. It's so lovely-dovey, even after all that fighting and tension. And eventually, she asks why this happened, why all suddenly that all these why the Spear of Destiny do this. And Indy's explained that he translated the spear and indicated
there was little engravings on it.
it indicated that only a pure of heart can handle this little spear.
Yeah, if you don't have a pure heart, it's going to bite you in the bum. If you've got a pure heart and you're doing the good things, it will assist you. A bit like the Raiders Lost Ark, the same sort of thing. They were going to use it for evil and then turned around and bit him in the bum. If they were going to do it for the good of mankind, it might have turned out totally different with no sequel.
Yeah, anyway, so as we're saying, Indy and Sophie are back in Washington, America, I should say.
Well, probably Washington.
And they are there to meet Agent...
Meeting, whatever it is.
And Agent
Meeting.
Mitri tells them that the Spear of Destiny is being placed in a secure place.
Secure lockup. Area
Area 51.
America's got to play Area 51 supposedly, all the good groovy things locked up.
Yeah. Eventually, Indy's a little upset that they're hiding it away, and he knows that now. He knows at the time that this is another artifact he definitely won't be able to put in a museum, but he wants to know where the Spear of Destiny is going. Yeah, so it's a little unfair for him not knowing where they're storing it now. It's not like under security by gosh knows whom. Yeah.
But.
And only the President of the United States is aware of where it is.
And what happened?
I don't know. Donald Trump picks it up.
Oh no! It's no problem. There's a person of pure heart. No, I'm sorry. This is not a political site here. Sorry.
Sorry. I'm joking.
No.
So anyway,
sorry, we're not going to get. They might close us down now.
So Sophie was walking off. She's planning to probably catch a train and head off, but Indy stops her, and they kind of lean in and have a smooch. well, not a very good smooch, but I won't go into details
No,
about that.
tried.
And eventually, they decide to head off for lunch.
And he's paying.
Yeah. Yes.
Now,
And then later on, we see Ancient Meat Peter
Peter, Peter.
is
Peter.
just taking the spear to the secret
Area
location.
51 or whatever, so, to be stored to be lost in the filing.
Yeah, eventually store it, and the guy who's pushing the trolley along to
Drops it on the ground.
and he picks up the spear, and we're left with a lot of unexplained questions.
Yeah, the point is, his eyes went black like a demon for a couple of seconds. Okay, everything goes, he's going to do naughty things with it. Now, a man of pure heart would not have a problem with it. Now, if he's going to do naughty things, it's going to turn around and bite him on the bum like the other guy.
Yeah.
So, either way we win.
Yes. So that's about it for this one.
Ain't bad. And like I said before, it's not bad. I don't like watching subtitled movies. I have trouble reading because I got bad eyes. But I enjoy this movie, and the subtitles work. Some don't. We saw the other day that Sarah mentioned earlier that the subtitles were all over the place and dropping in and out, and some weren't there. And you're going, I think they're doing that. But this works good. They've done it really professionally. It's really good.
Quite right.
Now, what do we say?
Well, for starters, Marcel also written and directed this other film called Mission. What's it called?
Where's that? Mission Indestructible.
Yeah, it's sort of I guess it's a spin-off of Mission Impossible.
Mission Impossible, maybe.
And it was released in year 2018. And
We have to go look at that. Hey?
And I have heard it's been receiving lots of awards and promising stuff.
Now, having said that, I did find his website. Now, he is not just an amateur movie maker. He has got a business. He makes commercials and other good groovy things.
Car commercials.
Lots of stuff.
Cars and most types of
Yeah, and other things. But from what I've seen, this guy has a really good business going, and he's really talented. This is the only movie I've seen. I've seen a couple of the commercials and a couple of quick spoofs, whatever, based around Harley Davidson. And he is funny, he's witty, he puts it together well. If he writes the scripts, I mean, I don't know the German, obviously, but it seems to be rolling off really good.
Yeah.
And it's rather comical.
Yeah, anyway, he started his business, and it's called Cornelius Films, which is founded in year 2011 in Germany, which is cool.
Well, he's German, that's a good place for it.
Yeah, so he's often coming up with some new ideas.
He's a very talented man.
Yes, and another thing is that just in year 2014, he and probably a few of his friends went off to Lucasfilms in year 2014.
Oh, wow. Say hello, George.
That'd be kind of cool. I hope we do go there one day.
That's one thing. At the end of this movie, they did give special thanks to George and Steven Spielberg for their inspiration, etc. And they probably obviously got permission to do this. So anybody looking to do a fan-based film, don't just go and do it and let it go on the net. Get permission as well. And most of these guys will say, yeah, go along and do it. It's good advertising for them, and it's great to see your fans actually doing something like this because it means they've actually made a mark in the industry.
I've talked to a number of friends here who often question making a fan film. They often say, wouldn't you have a problem with the copyright thing?
You ask.
Yeah. Yeah, of course you do.
And most people, look, if you're going to do a fan-based film based on what's another good franchise? You got Star Wars, you got Indiana Jones, you got whatever. You do a fan-based film, and you got somebody of the same attitude as George Lucas and Steven Spielberg. Most of the time they're going to say, yeah, not a problem, as long as it's not going to be a big commercial A-grade movie where you try and make money out of it. They'll let you make it because obviously your movie might not make any money at all being a fan-based film.
Yeah,
so they're pretty good about this.
Yeah, just last week I put together some video vlogs about fan-based movies and how I want to maybe one day do one of them eventually. I kind of mentioned it that I'm looking at probably one day in the near future may want to do a fan film one day.
I have to figure what's going to be though.
Well, I think I would like to do an Indiana Jones one myself. I mean, I did enjoy having to see when I was working with Tracy, who was my costumer for Attack of the Cat People. I did love her. There was a photo on her Facebook page where of a guy dressed up in an Indiana Jones outfit, and I would
Well,
love to.
there you go.
And I would love to see that, in my next film one day.
Well, actually, your leading man in the Attack the Cat People had an Indiana Jones hat, didn't he?
Oh yes.
Ah, ha.
Yeah, I made no secret about that.
But anyway, what was I going to say is, yeah, so just fan base film. Actually, Indiana Jones has raised a lot of fan films.
Yeah,
I've
it
seen.
has. I mean,
Short ones and long ones, and a lot of them have been done by young people.
and a bit of mixture.
No, a lot of them. Remember, you look at the Bimini one. They were younger people. Indiana Jed, that was young people. I mean, a lot of them, and they're not too bad. I mean, some of them are average acting and low budget stuff. Of course, they've
Yeah.
got it's what they've got to
And
work with.
it doesn't matter if
And
what.
they're doing, and it's great fun.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter what language you speak, as long as
Yeah.
it resembles something like what you would expect Indiana Jones to wear and what
Yeah,
stuff
and
they find.
and they keep the spirit going.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, some of these kids, I mean, I don't know if they're going to actually amount to anything in the film industry, but crikey, when I was a kid, at our age, I was just worried about sort of hanging out for mates, doing absolutely nothing. But maybe going to the beach or going to the hotel when I got old enough to go to the hotel. I didn't think about making a movie. Now I'm into movies. I'm getting too damn old to get into it.
Yes. Anyway, I do hope one
Yeah.
day to make my own Indiana Jones fan film one of these
Yeah,
days.
no, it'd be great. I'll be there. I'll watch it.
Yeah. Anyway, I do like Marcel's version. It's pretty interesting, and he's kind of funny in this.
Actually, that's another point. Yeah, he had some subtle humour coming through this.
Yeah.
Little bits, some were little, a couple of words thrown here or one line.
Yeah.
Funny looks, and it's been very tongue in cheek for a little bit of subtle
Well,
humour.
that's a bit-
as underlying factor for the whole
Well,
show.
that's a bit of a Harrison Ford that.
Oh
we're,
no, there's more humour in this
I
than
know,
Harrison Ford's.
but Harrison Ford has a little bit of the tongue-in-cheek humor.
A little bit of humour, but this here was some really cheesy, little quickie, funny lines just popping up all over the place. How like Iceman standing there after shooting people, he gets a Cornetto ice cream out and starts eating his ice cream. Just little things like that, and you're going, what? Hello? He's just been shooting people, and his driver hands him an ice cream.
That's hilarious.
Hello, it's just it's funny.
It's-
And he has there's other little things like this. There's little things, like Indiana Jones. Well, this guy in this movie he's there before he goes on an adventure. Just in the background, you see a picture of Sean Connery out of the Last Crusade, and we think in the blurred vision is actually Marcel superimposed behind him into the picture. Yeah, just little things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was kind of a great. I love it that they kind of reconstruct
Yeah,
the
just little things, yeah.
the layout, the locations, like Indiana Jones's home, where he,
Baltimore? No, I can't remember. Somewhere it was, yeah.
yeah, or
But-
New Jersey, I
New
think.
Jersey, yeah. Anyway, it's
Is
great,
New
but
Jersey near Boston?
No, I think I don't know. I'm not American. They got 52 states for crying out loud. I don't.
Who knows?
We're in Australia with 7. It's hard to keep track of theirs.
Yeah.
Anyway, but no, just little subtle little things going on. If you're watching it, you see that. Oh yeah, that's interesting. Didn't see it before. And just these little quick one-liners. Yeah, it's quite funny. Yeah, good work, Marcel.
Yeah, I agree, Marcel. You did a good job on this film project, and I love all your work you've been cooking up this year and last year. Well, maybe not so much this year because
Yeah, this
what we're
year,
going through is
2020 has been slow for everybody, which is a bit of a
a drag.
bummer.
But it's great that last year and the year before you've been working really hard.
Yeah, mate, you got a good good operation going, and I'd like to see more of you. Actually, that movie you mentioned before, I want to see that. Can we get a copy of it somehow?
I'll talk to Marcel if he wants us to do a special screening for it.
Could do. Yeah. Hey, by the way, this one here, is this one available online through Vimeo or anything, or Amazon? This one here, when we just reviewed. Is that available somewhere for people to see?
Well, you can find it on YouTube.
YouTube? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, YouTube. Okay.
Yeah, so it's more of a... Well, I don't think they would distribute it, DVD-wise.
Is it one part or 5-part, or what, how they go on YouTube?
It's sort of either... I don't know how many episodes...
I think it's 5.
How many parters there are. About 5, maybe?
But anyway, irrespective. Yeah, so you can see it on YouTube. What else?
So anyway, do you want to review it now, Mike?
I'm trying. I can't think of anything else to talk about, apart from how happy I am to watch this movie. I've seen it more than once, folks. That I don't normally watch a crappy movie once. Once is enough.
And this is not a crappy movie.
I watched
what Mike's saying.
I've seen it about 4 or 5 times. It's not a bad movie. I like it. I mean, I don't like subtitles normally because I have trouble reading because of my eyes. But this was worth the read. And I really enjoyed it. Now, okay, this is a fan film, but I won't base it on a lot some of the other ones because this guy is professional, semi-professional. He's got a business going and he knows how to do it. Still, I'm going to give it a 9 because this guy is brilliant and he's very, very a hands-on man. And I really, really like to see him do an A-grade movie one day.
Yeah, I'm going to give this 9.5. Out of 10.
Yeah, way to go, Marcel. Hey, actually, I noticed one thing. Marcel and another one, Peter. I think Peter Cornelius. It could be his brother. So it seems to me there might be another Cornelius in there, maybe a sister or something. I had a whole list of people there at one stage. So he might have got family in his business.
Well, maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, if Joshua Kennedy can do it with his family and friends, then I have no doubt that Marcel may invite his friends and family on board for this film project too.
Yeah, but the point of they've got to bring skills to it. So now it's interesting. They're all interested. And it's good to have a good cohesive team working there. And if they're a family, it's even better. You can spend more time with them. And you get more time as a group to actually talk about things instead of bringing people in who are working for you. Yeah, so
It's a shame that my sister can be involved in filmmaking.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Well, we've got a cat. This is good.
Meow.
Yeah, it's Bessie. Yeah, Bessie Cornelius. Yes. Yeah. So it's good one, guys.
Yeah.
Really impressed. So give us one a shot. I mean, if we really jump up and down and everyone likes it, maybe Marcel might make a product available and put it through Vimeo so people can watch it all together instead of bits and pieces on YouTube. Who knows?
Maybe.
Well, he can. He might.
He may be a little preoccupied with upcoming film projects.
He might.
He may be not focused on.
But it wouldn't be too much to put the 5 episodes together in one thing. It was literally on Vimeo, maybe, so everyone can see it instead of bits and pieces. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. Anyway, I think this is about it for us. So thanks for watching listening to this latest podcast, guys. This is Sarah Stephenson
and Michael Stephenson
saying, see you guys around.
Goodbye.